Welcome to Take Two, Rock 95 Morning Crew. I'm Craig, Kat and Brian. Brian gave me a ride home the other day.
Big favor.
It was a big favor. I appreciate it, Brian. I didn't even think I thanked you properly.
No, you didn't. You got out of the car real quick.
Out of the car real
Slammed
quick.
the door.
Well,
it was one of those things, too. You know, somebody shuts the door too hard. What are you doing?
Well, you know what I thought? I thought you were going to invite yourself in.
I didn't pull into the driveway, did I?
Really
Yeah,
make
you
it
did, you
known.
did.
Oh, I had to turn around, maybe. Otherwise, yeah, the pull into the driveway maybe scares you. Usually,
You don't pull into people's driveway when you drop them off?
Well, not if you can just keep going straight.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
I
he
do
did.
every time.
He pulled into the driveway, but he made a complaint because there's a lot of twists and turns to get to my space. He's like, how am I ever going to get out of here? I'm
Right.
like, that's your problem.
Yeah. And then instead of
Google
helping,
Maps.
there was no helping and there was no thanking. It was a door slammed. And I went, okay, see ya.
Well, okay, so let's...
He only needed a ride one time,
we always on our show talk about unwritten rules. So is there unwritten rules for when you're given a ride home? Do I need to actually get out of the car and tell you how to get out?
No.
I feel like
Okay,
that's on
'cause
you
there's some
as
people
the
that do that.
driver to ask. Like,
No,
it's
oh,
fine.
hey, what do I do? Right, left, right, or whatever?
I mean, in the land of...
I was making conversation.
You were making conversation.
It was not a big
Oh,
deal.
it's awkward drive,
but
though.
in a land of GPS and everything, you know, you kind of leave it up to them. But in a time when we didn't have that, maybe there was do you know how to get out?
Got
Yeah.
the map
Make sure.
printout.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
I got lost.
Did you get?
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It is weird back there.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very residential.
How lost did you get?
I had to turn around at some point. I'm like, this isn't the right way.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Oh, you don't just
Yeah.
keep doing the drive around till you.
Well, in his neighborhood, you'll keep going around.
Oh, and you didn't. Yeah.
I feel
I've
bad
seen
now.
This
Yeah.
house
Yeah,
before.
because he really went out of his way. He doesn't live anywhere near me at this
Right.
point.
Craig just sat at his
Yeah,
window.
you slam the door.
1, 2.
Nice.
There's Brian again. 3.
I didn't slam the door. I made sure I didn't slam the door. When I shut that door, I go, good for you, Craig. You didn't slam the door. So what are some of the rules?
Well, I was
then?
joking as if I had to make an errand. If I had to run an errand.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, oh, you don't mind if I go to the other side of town. And you actually said no right away. And
Yeah.
I'm like, good. Because if I'm doing you a favor, you kind of are along for the ride,
Yeah.
whatever I'm doing.
You're going out of your way to drop him off.
You know?
Well, then I have to think, okay, either I sit in the car for a half hour while he does this errand, or I got to walk around the entire station and find somebody else
Right.
to drive me home.
Or
What's
pay
easier?
for an Uber or a taxi or
Well, I'm
whatever.
not doing that. I'm
Right.
cheap.
And did you really want to work more? You're like,
Yeah.
I'll just sit in the car. It's
Yeah,
fine.
and it depends on what the errand is too. Like if you're just going to town you need to pick up something from the grocery store.
Just a quick. I had one thing to do. It was Service Ontario, and I thought just a quick
Oh my
stop
God,
here.
a quick stop at Service
my
Ontario.
God.
Are those even a thing?
Well, that's the joke.
Anyway.
No, they're not. So,
It makes you feel like you're a kid when you go shopping with your parents. You want to
Yeah.
come or you want to wait in the car?
and they
I wanna
always
wait
have
in the
errands
car.
to run,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, they do.
My dad would never tell me.
Oh,
That
really?
you were
No.
stopping?
All of a sudden, always when we were going on a trip anywhere, he'd be like, all right, just a quick stop at my office. And we went, no! You're kidding me.
I do that to my kids all the time. Quick stop in the office.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was never quick.
And then I'm
I
like-
remember we went to the bank with my mom and it was the hottest day ever and she left the car on with the air conditioning, but the air stopped blowing cold if the car was just idling.
Yeah.
So we were like,
So I have a scenario for you because this brought this to mind. So this is a taxi, right? So I remember when I was in my 20s, we came out of a bar and we wanted to get something to eat, but we needed a taxi ride home, and we asked the guy to stop at a Subway. And we got out of the car,
And you cleared it with
and we
him.
cleared it with him. Can you stop at the Subway and then wait here and then come drive us home? And he kept the fare going, and I didn't think that was a big deal. I thought, okay, I'm eating his time up.
Yeah.
But he went out and got a sub himself. And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
you're waiting for him at the end.
Now I'm waiting for him and the time's going on
Yeah,
because
this is your lunch break.
I'm like, wait, yeah, you're benefiting from this stop. You should be
Yeah.
waiting in the car while we get our sub and then charging us for the time, and then we will pay you for that time. Now he gets out and he goes and gets a sub and he's benefiting from it because he's stopping off for
And he
lunch
wants to
and he's getting paid for it.
And he wants a break from his car, so he goes, I always dine in.
Yeah.
You go, well,
Yeah. I can't remember if I said it. Yeah, that would be funny.
right? The pit's still going out
Now,
there.
wait a
dude.
minute. He's sitting down. I don't remember if I said anything. I don't think I did. But now that I think back on it 30 years later, I'm like, I probably should have said something. You think that's a
Well, I
right?
mean, if you're all going in anyway and the fare's running and he didn't waste any more time,
Yeah.
that's just
Well,
a
but he
courtesy.
did.
I
He
feel
did
like.
waste a
But
little
did he?
more time.
Did he? Were you waiting for him actually?
But what if he was behind you?
Well, we talked about it. It was long enough to talk about it. Like we sat in the car and we're like, what's he doing?
Oh my God! Really?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
he
well
was
then,
in the-
yeah, sure.
But
Yeah.
what if you wasted a minute?
He wasted a full minute.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's still
Yeah.
dollars, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
sometime.
I mean, we ate it.
Anyway, you
The
want
sub
that?
and it's the sub and the charge. All right, let's get to Craigslist. We'll do that in 1 minute. Hang on.
Craigslist.
All right, it's my list of some of the trending topics of the week. This one's kind of interesting because in Barrie there's a clock on City Hall, and I don't know if
top, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really taken notice of the clock.
And you know why I would say, just if you've never seen a picture of it and you do finally see one, it's an ugly clock.
You don't like
Yeah,
it?
it's got just lines and like the straight square.
You know that ugly green? Too?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And I think if you're beside City Hall, you can't really see it anyway. If you look up, you have to
No.
kind of be
You gotta
standing
be far
away
away.
from it, right?
From a
And-
distance is when you see it, when you're at the water, and then you're like,
Yeah.
I can't read the time.
The only place I've seen it is driving up that really hilly road. What is it?
Yeah,
Right,
Mulcaster,
right.
I think.
Mulcaster.
Well, I will say this. So the clock stopped working. But if you came up to me and told me that it never worked, I'd believe you too. Because I don't think I've ever checked the time looking at that
I
clock.
don't think it's a secondhand either, so you can't see the movement or lack thereof.
Yeah. Does it need to be fixed? Are we good with it not working? Can we do a little Back to the Future here where
don't
we can
check.
save it for the flux capacitor and the try to
Do
get
you
back?
think it would be funny for a year? Would it be funny after 5? What do you think?
I would talk about it.
You know what I mean? It's like our Barrie sign. It got damaged so many times. At one point, do you just go, "Hey, leave it broken"? It's
Yeah,
funny.
that's
Wow.
vandalism, though. But the actual clock, if
Yeah.
it didn't work, I'd introduce it that way. That's the clock that never works.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That makes, it's part of who we are.
It's a little character, right?
I
Anyway,
don't
they're
know
gonna.
if it's good character. It's like you're a crappy town.
Well,
You want it fixed
well,
up.
that's what they want to avoid.
yeah. So the streak of fixing it, because they haven't fixed it in 20 years, is going to be broken. So they're calling someone. There's only one person in Ontario that could fix the clock.
I love how they made the announcement too. Listen, we are calling someone. You're like, okay,
Have no
I guess.
fear.
Just say you're fixing it.
All right, Super Bowl's coming up soon.
Is it?
Yeah, next weekend. Excited?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you're not. You're not.
Why not?
Because the Lions aren't.
Yeah, you're
I'm still okay. It's the last. It's a Super Bowl. Of course, I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not excited for it. It feels.
I would have
like.
been more excited if the Lions are in it.
100%
Absolutely. I would
I
have had
would've.
somebody to root for. Now I'm just kind of
course.
watching it because it's space and something to watch.
Right. It's an event still.
But
Come on.
maybe you can have a cool beverage with it or a hot beverage. Truly Hot Wing Hard Seltzer. This is a seltzer water that gives you the flavor of a big pound of hot
For
wings.
someone who's not excited for the game, that's not going to do it. Here's your beverage, and that ain't going to be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like usually your beverage is supposed to, fix the heat from the wings.
Yeah,
Not add just
yeah.
Instant heartburn.
I just don't know if I like a savory drink like
Savory.
that. You know
You
what I
don't
mean?
like
Well, I like beer. I mean, beer is a little savory, but I don't want it to taste like a food. And there seems to be more and more of that out there. I
It's
don't.
just like when you said, like, it's like wing water.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
I know what's next. The hot dog water, right? Come on.
And there's a Missouri senator that's floating around the idea of bringing back the duel. I don't think it's pistols at 10 paces.
slap
I think
don't?
it's no. I think it's the slap in the face and then the little bit of a sword
So
fight.
assault is fine.
Assault
just
is
not
fine.
with a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a
sword
good
counts.
old fashioned duel isn't where you kill someone, right? It's where you touch someone.
Is that a
And
good
then-
old
Is it?
fashioned?
No, I feel like an old fashioned duel was like 10 steps and we draw.
Yeah.
All right, so this guy's condoning murder. Got it. So anyway, yeah, he's even got the. I mean, some people were thinking he's just being cheeky, but he is getting some support because I guess there's about a lot of infighting going on in council.
He must be really pushing for some crazy idea that he's like, if this settles, I got a 50-50 shot. You know? Let's get this through.
He's even got the time laid out. He's going to be doing. He said, he can do it at high noon. So he watches too many movies. Watches way too many movies.
Can't have the sun in anyone's eyes.
Listen to Craig, Kat, and Brian, the Rock 95 Morning Crew. Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on Barrie's Rock Station, Rock 95.